How you guys doing? This is Johnny back here at MyMixEngineer.com, and I'm coming to you guys with a quick tips and tricks that I actually use very often when I am mixing or when I receive a session from a client artist, typically rap artists. They it's you guys some you guys know you receive a 2 track and vocals, and what they want you to accomplish is sitting your 2 track inside, sitting their vocals inside of a 2 track, which is pretty hard because I have limited resources. I just can't. If I do anything to the 2 track EQ wise, it's messing with the whole mix. If I dip out the mids, I'm messing with the kick, the clap, the synths. If they got a hook on it, I'm messing with the hook. Or I had to sit there and just automate it, and you guys know how long that'd take. But in this case, I didn't want to. I found the technique that I've been using for, I say, about the last 5 years, which I split up. I duplicate the 2 track, as you can see right here at the bottom, you guys. I duplicated one. I got the lows, mids, and the highs. So with me duplicating it, as you can see above, I just put a filter up it. You can use any filter. You do not have to use the Fab Filter Pro Q2. It's not necessary. I just reached for an EQ, and that's what I just grabbed. So in that case, I got my lows, my mids, and my highs. So what I want to do, let me take these down. And if you guys want to hear what they sound like separately, here. Lows, mids, and the highs. And all together. Alright. So in that case, when the vocal come on, because again the vocal is a mid-range instrument, I want it to fit. Okay, before I end up doing an automation, I was noticing that my vocals were harsh. Like when I muted it, I was like, man, the vocals are harsh. They chopping my head off around the 3K-ish range. And the reason why it was doing it is because when I was mixing it along with the music. I didn't solo it. I just mixed it with the music. So in that case, the vocals were suffering because I had to work with what I got. In this case, that's what I was doing. But the vocals just wasn't up to par, as you can say. So in this case, I started doing a little automation. You can see the greens are the mids. So I turned down the mids. And I also turned down some of the highs. And I boosted up the sub frequencies, the low end. So now the vocals can really sit on top of the track without suffering. I still have my lows, and it still has that presence of like the same volume. Like it doesn't seem like the actual track itself dipped down and the vocals just popped out. Alright, so that's what it sounds like. I'll give you guys a little snippet. And again, this track right here is a track from Ashlei Reign. I have her link in the description. She's an incredible gospel artist. I'm not even gonna put her in that category. She's just an incredible artist, positive artist at that, which is not that many out there. Everybody talking about Buddhists and chains, but yeah, she's an incredible artist. I enjoy working with her. And check this out, you guys. Enough talking.
My heart's broken in places, you probably should've replaced it. I appreciate how you mend it up every time I think I won't make it.
Alright, a long delay. But check out before I give you some pre into it.
I surrender. I surrender. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My heart's broken in places, you probably should've replaced it. I appreciate how you mend it up every time I think I won't make it.
Alright, sorry about that. I know that just went crazy. I don't know what that is. Alright, so again, that's what it sounds like, and with let me see what it sounds like without it. Just say for instance I take this off. That's what it sounds like.
I surrender. I surrender. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My heart's broken in places, you probably should've replaced it. I appreciate how you mend it up every time I think I won't make it.
The vocals sit there, but they not poking out. You know, it's just like it's overwhelmed by the instrumentals. It's really fighting with the mids. But if I go back to doing what I did,
I surrender. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My heart's broken in places, you probably should've replaced it. I appreciate how you mend it up every time I think I won't make it.
alright. You see, it's subtle because I did subtle changes. I think I put like 2 dB or a dB if I think it. Yeah, 2 dBs. I dropped the mids down 2 dB along with the highs about 2 dB. I boosted up the lows a dB. And I did that again on the second verse. Same exact thing. Just so the vocals can sit. And I also used on the vocals, I'll show you something else with my vocal chain. 1176. I'm hitting it pretty hard.
Me is off center. This enemy is.
As you can see, I'm hitting it pretty hard. Pretty medium slow attack. Basically a fast release. 41 ratio. I'm cutting off some of the lows. We'll get rid of some of the rumble. Her voice not even down there. Took out some of the mud. It was this irritating mid-range, low mid-range frequency that was getting on my nerves, that was really poking out. Gave her some top end just to brighten her up. Hit her with a de-esser and a limiter. I know people probably look at it like, what you doing with an L2 on the vocals? I use the L2 on the vocals, especially hip-hop vocals, very often. I like the way that it gives it a crunch, and I'm barely tapping it. As you can see, I'm getting like 2 dB, almost 3 dB.
Me is off center. This enemy is all into me, and I let him be, and I need relief.
And that's just basically to really control it, control some of those peaks. And when it do hit those peaks, to give it like this crunch that I like. So after that, hit it with a de-esser, and that's what I did before I did the automations with the lows, mids, and the highs. Now, prior to that, this beautiful, magnificent plug-in that I love so much. What I'm using right here is basically, the vocals were harsh, and the reason they was harsh, and it sounded well until I started, I did the typical car test. And I came back and I listened to it I listened to it in the car, and I was noticing like the vocals are harsh. They're chopping my head off, especially when you turn it up. And basically that was around like, what's this? 27 hertz, 2,700 hertz, whatever, around 2K, almost 3K range. That her vocals was getting harsh. What I'm doing here is cutting that frequency every time that frequency reach a threshold. It's like it's dynamic EQing slash almost like it's almost like putting a multi-band compressor on it and just only using one frequency range, and trigger is only triggering just on that one. Something similar, but actually I'm just pretty much cutting it. I don't like the way it sounds, and I'll let you guys hear what it sounds like with it off. You'll notice it with it off.
For me is off center. This enemy is all into me, and I let him be, and I need relief. Lord, I'm needing your guidance, will and strength to be honest. Praying that you provide it. I'm sick and tired of hiding. I've heard enough of your silence. Now it's not the time to be quiet. These things I'm doing in private, please give me the strength to deny them.
All right, so in that case, as you can hear, it smoothed it out. It's subtle, but to a good ear, especially when they get in the club, without that, it's gonna chop. You'll be sitting there like, my head hurt, basically. So I don't want you guys to be looking at Johnny and be like, dang, Johnny, that mix sound like it was taking my head off in the club. No, but that's just a trick that I actually like to use that. Try it out. I might do a tutorial on it later on, show you how it works. But basically, that's it. Hit it with some well, this right here, I'm really using this as a slap, somewhat. I got a slap on her vocals. I am using 8 delay, seldom, well, not that much. What else I have on her vocals? I am using the ping pong, which is here. On the ping pong, it's almost like a slap, just to make it a little wider. I'm using Echo Boy. And that's basically it. Duplicated what I did to the background. Her background was actually 1Track, and you probably like why her vocals sound wide.
For me is off center. This enemy is all in, and I need relief. Needing your guidance.
And the way I accomplished that was putting the little micro shift, which was free a while back. If you got help, sucks if you guys missed it. But it was free plugin from SoftTube. What it does is just a trick that I often do a lot. Sometimes if I get a track like this, I duplicate this track and nudge one. You know what I'm saying? Probably like 20 milliseconds left, and then nudge this one, another one 20 milliseconds right. Then I probably like detune it, probably like 5 cents. Detune one like 5 cents. And that's just a technique that I use, just a fake double track. So yeah, you guys, that's basically it. Again, try that out. Duplicate your instrumental, split it. Put a filter on it, lows, mids, and highs. Cut it out, and play with the mids and the highs, and see how well your vocals sit. Until next time, you guys, make sure you leave a comment. Tell me what you guys do. How you guys conquer a 2-track mix. Let me know. I'm all open. I love knowledge. Knowledge is the key nowadays. But yeah, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Thumbs up. Subscribe. And just remember, mixing is an art. Be you. Stay true. I'm out. Well, I ain't out. I'm still here, but you know.
Oops.